Indra Nooyi is one of the most powerful women in corporate America. She's the former CEO of PepsiCo. All of you realize that that is an iconic brand in the world. When she was tapped to lead PepsiCo in 2001, she was of a handful of women CEOs at Fortune 500 companies. And she tells her story on CBS one night. Professional success, her family, and her new book, My Life in Full, Work, Family, and Our Future. Indra was born in India, strict but loving, devoted, multi-generational family. Her parents believed that girls should have the same opportunities that every boy that is born, and every opportunity to learn and advance as much as any boy in the world. In 1978, she was accepted at the Yale Business School. The difficult transition from India to America was the first of many, many obstacles she would have to overcome. She graduated, married, had 2 daughters, all while working more than full-time, eventually landing the job at PepsiCo and climbing the corporate ladder. Indra will never forget the day she was named PepsiCo president. It was after 10 p.m. in the evening when she finally got home to tell her family the good news. But she was quickly humbled by her mother, who was staying with her family at the time. Indra said, "I've got great news," she began. But before she could utter another word, her mother said her good news could wait. They were out of milk. Fuming, Indra went off to the grocery store and bought the milk, as she was ordered. And when she returned, she slammed the milk on the counter in the kitchen, and angry that her mother didn't seem to care about her success, that's when the mother put things in perspective, as only mothers can do. And her mother said, quote, "Let me explain something to you, Indra. You might be president of PepsiCo. You might be on the board of directors. But when you enter this house, you are wife, you are daughter, you are daughter-in-law, you are mother. You are all of that. And nobody else can take your place, Indra. So leave your crown in the garage." End of quote. Ouch. A powerful mother, huh? Believe it or not, Mom's response echoes the point of today's gospel. Jesus warns that the things of this world, including the towers of wealth and power, will one day fall. What enables us to survive, what leads us to rebirth and progress, are the things of God, learned and lived in the love and care of families. Indra's mother was a bit tough, I think you'd all agree. Less than impressed, response to her daughter's promotion reminds her that her success in business should not be an end in itself, but a means to an end, to provide and care for her family. That comes first. Enable other families to prosper by her leadership and her example. That comes first. The unsettling images Jesus articulates in today's gospel confronts us with the reality that the things that become the focus of our lives our careers, our portfolios, our status, our bodies will one day be no more. Our separation from them will be bitter. And in the gospel, Jesus calls us to embrace the lasting, eternal treasures of love and mercy. On September 23rd, 1938, the Anise family, all 11 of us, were huddled together in the enclosed sun porch of our home back there in New England, while the most powerful hurricane ever to hit the New England coast carried out its horrific results. The Great New England Hurricane. Wind smashed against windows, shingles whipping off of the roofs of neighbors' houses, 20, 30-year-old trees thrown about like twigs, slashing rain, cars on sidewalks, telephone poles snapped in half. The 4-foot hedge surrounding our house was ripped up and blown away as if it were paper mache. Close to 25 fruit trees in the yard, all uprooted like pieces of straw. The tighter our hug, the more compelling that this hurricane manifests its meanness and compelling persistence, the tighter our hugs became, and the louder Mom's rosary was heard. And when all of nature's fury came to a gradual end, in a moment of profound and terrifying silence, my father, good old Pasquale, not very educated, but full of wisdom, whispered, "Nothing lasts. Nothing lasts." And that, my brothers and sisters, is the message of today's scriptural readings. Nothing lasts. As the years went by in the early church, the disciples who had known Jesus were gradually dying off. Those who remained believed in Jesus without having seen him. They celebrated his invisible presence in the Eucharist. And remember, in the breaking of the bread, Jesus becomes present. When would the elderly Christians ever see the splendor of Christ's face? When would their longing to be with him forever be fulfilled? They continued to remember the words of Jesus with love and faith. These words sustained them through the difficult times of persecution. Would they not slowly begin to forget those words? The years were going by without the appearance of the much-hoped day of the Lord. What were they to think? The signs of the times should not frighten us or terrify us into submission before the horrible wrath of God. Jesus urges us instead to recognize such signs in a spirit of hope and perspective of faith in God's providence, to appreciate what a precious gift our limited time on earth is, to realize that our every changing world, every passing stage, every pain, every triumph are opportunities for growth, maturity, and understanding of the transforming presence of God in one another. To embrace the change as part of our journey to eventually be present with the Almighty God in his home. With every mysterious happening, with every wrinkle of age, with every spasm of our pains, with every changing of our world, with every inexplicable, unending wars, all the injustices, all the egocentricity of selfish, evil, lame leaders, the God of eternity will dramatically announce, my friends, it is curtain time. Nothing lasts. Nothing lasts.